Now to some not so sweet health news about a sugar substitute found in popular products like Halo Top ice cream, Monster energy drinks, and Quest protein bars.
The artificial sweetener may be sugar-free, but at what cost? Dr. John Higgins is a sports cardiologist with McGovern Medical School at UT Health Houston and joins us to give us the scoop. Hello there.
Yes.
What's up with the sweetener you're concerned about?
Well, some of the studies are showing that we've known that sweeteners for a while are kind of, they sometimes work and they sometimes don't work for people, Melissa, but this latest study, they're concerned about it increasing your blood thickness, you know, so you clot a little bit more than you should. And that's been associated with some heart attacks and strokes. But I think when we're talking about sweeteners, you know, we have to consider how you use them and then what happens to someone when they actually take a sweetener.
And the specific one we're referring to in this case is erythritol.
Yes, yes.
Right, erythritol. Erythritol?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to say.
Sorry, I was making sure I was pronouncing it correctly. All right, and so you've got some of the products in front of you, Dr. Higgins, that this is found in. I have to tell you, I eat a lot of Halo Top ice cream. In fact, that's my pint that I brought in that I finished off last night, because I eat a lot of that ice cream because I see it as low calorie. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
What is the risk?
So, I mean, I think actually it is important to say up front that the side effects of these substances have been shown with pretty much all of the sweeteners. So the concern we have is that, first of all, when you take a sweetener, it's so much sweeter than sugar, and so your body puts out a lot of insulin like it would do when you have sugar. But then there's actually no sugar for the insulin to break down. So you've got a lot of insulin circulating. That increases insulin resistance. It increases your cravings. So like later on, you're like, oh man, I want to get something like some real stuff. So that's part of the issue, that it has been associated with increasing blood pressure, cholesterol, obesity, and diabetes. But the other thing is, you know, Sally and Melissa, that it's how people use it. So you really should be using it as a substitute, but what happens is that someone says, oh, look, I've had a soda, a diet soda with 0 calories, so now I can pig out on something that I wouldn't have. So they're not necessarily using it as a substitute, they're actually increasing to compensate. So those are kind of really important factors. I mean, in terms of from the medical standpoint, we would recommend that you probably avoid too much of these products, number one. Certainly use them as a substitute, but, you know, a can of regular soda or, you know, some real ice cream is not going to kill you, and, you know, it might actually satisfy you more than some of these things in the long run. So I think it's really important to put it all in perspective. And of course, as I always tell you all, is, you know, it's only part of the equation. I mean, you've got to do the exercise, you've got to get the sleep, you've got to do those other healthy lifestyles.
Now, it sounds like when you're saying this too, you're talking to everybody, even someone really healthy like Sally. This isn't just somebody with pre-existing conditions that you want them to back off on these products.
Exactly. In fact, they've done studies on children. They've even done studies on pregnant women. A large study out of Canada showed that pregnant women that are using these sugar substitutes, that in 1 year, their babies were much more likely to be overweight and obese. So there is something about these products that actually changes the way people fundamentally eat. And for a lot of people, it's not in a healthy way. They tend to kind of binge more, and they use these not as substitutes, but kind of like as cheaters, so they can kind of cheat on the other stuff. So I would just say, you know, look, a little bit in moderation is okay, but try to use it appropriately. And if you are going to have some diet product, don't have extra of the real stuff, and get out there and get those 10,000 steps.
Hey, Dr. Higgins, thank you so much. Got to read the labels more is my take-home message here too, right? All right, thank you so much.
And get those steps into the rodeo too.
There we go. Hey.